Well.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Welcome to Switching Reels.
Welcome to Switching Reels. We would like to present you with my wife, Micaiah.
Hello. I am here to Christmas.
Christmas is her favorite season, and so we have invited her to be here for Christmas.
Yeah.
And we are very excited to have you. Thank you for joining us today.
I'm happy to join you today.
My pleasure. Okay, so what did we watch today, Connor?
I don't fucking know.
It was called Scrooge, A Christmas Carol.
It was called Scrooge, A Christmas Carol.
Let's start with recommendations.
Okay.
Absolutely no one.
Here's who would want to see this movie. People who want to play a drinking game where every time someone says humbug, you drink. People who are children and don't have object permanence. People who do not care if you rhyme life with life. More than once in the same song.
Basically, if you don't have ears or eyes, you'll love this film.
I feel like
It was
liked
actually
the music.
It was
Like the music itself, like the composition of the music was nice, and a lot of the animation was nice.
It was pretty.
It was a pretty movie.
I will give it that it did environments sometimes well.
Mm-hmm.
It did.
It did not do characters well.
Did not do that.
That being said,
Does it deserve its place on the list?
no.
Wait, it doesn't?
Absolutely.
You want it to be on the list?
No, it doesn't.
On the list.
No, this
IMDb top 250, it is 1.
Shawshank, get out of here.
You know exactly what I meant. It does not belong to ever be on the list.
Not long to ever be.
So this is not on the list. This is our Christmas episode, if you hadn't gathered that yet. So thank you for being here, everyone. This is for Christmas. This is not on the IMDb top 250. So we're kind of just
And
gonna
thank goodness.
we're kind of just gonna lull at this one, and see how it goes from there. So. Ratings then. Let's go around the table. Connor, you're last.
Okay,
I'll
go
first.
last.
So our ratings are enjoyment and technical. Scale of 1 to 10. So my enjoyment of it was a solid 4, maybe 5. I think there were points where I had 5 on it. So solid 4.5. My technical, I'd say, like, probably a 7. Like, again, okay, but like, okay.
Nope, this is your rating.
I appreciate it.
I'm staying
Step
out of
off. Just kidding. You don't need to step off. This is a show. So, like, there was a lot of really good graph animations, and the music was really nice, but the characterization was bad and the plot was bad, which is sad because the plot is defined for you.
It's true.
So, over to Micaiah.
Enjoyment. I was actively bored several times throughout a children's movie. Not bored like, I'm watching a children's movie, but bored like, I do not care about anything you're about to show me. So I'd say probably a 3, and most of those points are from laughing at the movie. And then technical, this is probably way too mean, but I did not like this movie. Technically, though, if I ignore storytelling entirely, I'd say a 5.
Ooh, haha.
If I ignored storytelling entirely, it is right in the middle.
So with our technical, we have gone over this at one point in one of our past episodes. Our technical rating does include story structure.
It does.
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay, so if I include story structure, Charles Dickens is rolling in his grave. They took all of the shallowest parts of A Christmas Carol and said, let's animate it and make it like Frozen with Elsa. At one point, Scrooge turns into the sky. That's what I have to say about that. It's your turn, Connor.
All right. So on I'll start with the technical level. On a technical level, this gets, I'd say, a 4 from me. It botches characterization, plot, and something else. It botches a lot of things.
something else as well.
And-
Songs.
And like, yeah, okay. The best I can say for any of the songs is like when they are at their best, it's low level knockoff Disney.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. I'd agree with that.
And at their worst, it's abysmal.
It's-
So it gets really low points for me from that. Pure spectacle are the only reason it gets those 2 points.
nice.
Because there are some really, really impressive things that
This
they...
is enjoyment or technical?
This was technical.
Okay, cool.
My enjoyment, slightly higher actually, but
Okay.
I think it's because I watched it with you guys,
Yeah.
and there were just some absolutely fantastic things to laugh at.
So, just so everyone's aware, we normally have a no to minimal speaking rule when we're watching the movie, and Connor just threw it out the window at some point. He
Yeah.
could not take it any longer, which was fine for us.
It
Mikhail and
was-
I talk through all movies.
Yeah.
It was a miserable experience without it.
Yeah, it
Like,
was.
I think,
I would agree with that.
I think,
Watch this with friends.
yeah, missing things in most movies is really frustrating for me.
Totally.
With this one, I just didn't care.
No, you just talk over whatever you wanted and jump right back in, and also it didn't matter if you missed anything.
Yeah, this. So I can't recommend this movie to anyone. I'm just
You're
gonna
not gonna.
stop right
You're just
there.
gonna stop.
Um,
Perfect.
This is where we ask you to like and subscribe and comment if you've seen this or if you have any interest in seeing this,
Yeah.
because we would love to interact with you.
Again, and like, well, thank you very much. Please subscribe to us, comment, like us, do all of the things if you enjoy what we're doing here. So before we go too much into summaries and stuff, I do kind of want to caveat this was made for kids, so we'll have at least a little bit of our discussion to go and like we should go and remember it's made for kids, but also at the same time go and compare it with other kids things that we have seen and enjoyed. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, just from an artistic standpoint, for me, I can't separate the fact that the audience for this movie is the same as the audience for a Pixar movie,
that's
and
true.
like
That's
you're
true.
That's a
you're
good
going
point.
up against some really heavy hitters.
That's
Yeah.
a very good point.
So
And even then, like, yes, it was a children's movie, but it was based on, like you said, a plot
Yeah.
that was
Well-defined.
pre-prepared.
yeah,
And they took all the least deep, impactful parts, which is not what you do for a children's movie. Like, that's
Yeah.
not.
So summaries.
it's a Christmas Carol. If you don't know it by now, just go watch or read.
Is there a better Christmas Carol?
There are several.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yes.
The Christmas Carol with the ducks. Disney Duck Christmas Carol.
I've
yeah,
actually
the
never
Scrooge
seen
McDuck
that one.
Yeah,
that
you're
one
right.
is good as children's adaptions of Christmas carols go.
Okay. And I've also heard, but have not seen the BBC FX one, but I've heard that it's really good. Not for kids though.
And
Really
SFK.
leans into the no, really leans into the horror elements of what was in the original story of like, this is a ghost story.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be scary.
Spooky.
This is a scared straight story, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
so
Like Scared Straight Story?
You
Yeah.
get scared straight.
yeah, have you
What?
it was a program for kids for a while. It was called Scared Straight, and the idea was you would have prisoners come into schools to tell kids about their experiences in prison.
You scare them straight.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So
Okay,
yeah.
got it now.
Anyway,
So that's a good summary. Thank you, appreciate it. Micaiah, any summary?
There's a book.
Yeah?
It's like 300 pages. If you have giant font, you could read it and get more from this story than you did from the movie. But you would miss, I like life. Life
Oh.
likes me.
I
Something
would
else
be
that rhymes with life.
happier
Probably like-
if I
Exactly. So you
Yeah.
missed that.
Awesome. Then my summary. It is a Christmas carol as told by songs by hit classics by from Netflix's Disney. I don't know. I Like Life.
Disney.
Later. or never later, or
Oh, yeah.
something like that.
Later. We rhyme later with later.
Thank you very much for dying, good sir. We all love you. It's the best thing that's ever happened in my existence. That is the full title of the
Is
song.
that the title?
That is the title of the song, yes. Heavy-handed similes.
That's not a song.
I know. That's a good point.
There was the Tiny Tim Christmas song that's like, I remember Christmas, and this is the song your sister sang at Christmas. So you have to remember that I'm just like your sister. That song.
Yeah. Yep. That one. Yep. All hit bangers.
Oh my.
Find us on the iTwims. Okay, so what do we do from here? Initial reactions. We've already kind of did that.
Yeah.
Like
technical execution. We did that.
I think it's apparent what our initial reactions are here.
I think it's a great movie.
Yep. You sure do.
I don't.
Standout scenes or performances?
Yeah.
Mrs. Cratchit.
Mrs. Cratchit.
She was
real
a
human
real
being.
person
She was-
dropped into the middle of this dumpster fire of animation.
They hired someone off the street. It was like, hey, this entire situation's going on. You know Christmas Carol, right? No, it doesn't matter. Come on in here. What's your...
We're
If I
gonna
told
take-
you
Well,
this...
no, but her emotions actually seemed real, which
They did.
was
Yes.
weird.
They did.
And her face was so realistic. And her vocal tones were so realistic. And it's just Mrs. Cratchit. It's not even... She's in like a total of 10 minutes of the movie.
If that.
Yeah, if that. My
You-
word.
You did mention, Connor, that you at some point were able to resonate with with Scrooge.
I was able to resonate with Scrooge at a certain point, and it's not just my general
Scrooge-ness?
crotchety
Yeah,
demeanor.
Humbuggy?
people that know me well, and you may have picked up that these two know me fairly well, know that Christmas is not my favorite time of year. It's not that I hate Christmas, it's just...
If you were to choose between Christmas and any other holiday, you would.
Not any other, but several others, yes. And there are just some things about the Christmas season that rub me the wrong way. That being said, I did not connect with Scrooge in any other Christmas Carol adaptations. In this one, he just wanted to nope out of the Spirit of Christmas Presents song, and I think that was the right move.
Yeah, and his
Life.
entire period of Christmas Present
I
was
rhyme
he
with
just
life.
wanted to nope out of it.
Yeah.
Like he just wanted to be gone.
Yeah, and I think and it wasn't even like with the first one and with Jacob Marley, he's like, this is really weird. I don't like this. I want to leave.
Yes.
That kind of thing. This one was just like, no, I'm sick of this and I would rather not be here.
It was the movie making fun of itself because I think it
That's-
kind of knew
That's
that it
the
was going a
worst
little
part.
too far over the top. And they had one straight main character who was the main character. You're like,
That's what I'm saying about Dickens rolling in his grave. Scrooge is not supposed to be the straight man. He's not supposed to be correct the whole time. You're not supposed to be like, that guy knows what's going on.
yeah, like me as a watcher, like in every other Christmas Carol, I'm like, oh, okay, I could see how the main
How you
character,
get there.
how the main character finally learns their lesson and gets an understanding of their life
Yeah.
and improves. And this, I don't. Like,
Well-
it steals all of Scrooge's learning thunder.
And what's really wild, and I noticed this really early on, is Scrooge isn't just a grumpy old selfish man
Mhm.
like he is in every other adaptation.
Yeah,
He just actively enjoys being mean to people,
exactly.
and then he feels like he's
just
justified
sadistic. Exactly.
because he's had bad things happen on Christmas before.
Like, oh, bad Christmas.
But he pushes some kids down in the street and then he laughs at them. He's like, serves you right for being children. It's like,
He's like, my dog, the dog licks a kid. And he's like, don't lick that kid. You don't know where he's been.
and like the fact it was super off-putting to me at the beginning, where I'm just like, why is Scrooge laughing so much? He's not supposed to laugh. He's supposed to be a grumpy old
very
man.
Somber.
He's not traumatized.
He's just.
What can we say in the podcast?
I've already dropped an F-bomb.
Yeah, you already have.
He's not traumatized. He's just an asshole. And then the movie's like he redeems himself because some giant ghost says he's gonna die. Like,
I'm so excited to go and mark this episode, the Christmas episode, going over the 7-year-old, like the 4 7-year-old
TV7 for fear.
TV7 for fear, and I'm gonna go mark it explicit. I'm very excited for this.
You know what was a good scene though was the dancing, when Scrooge and his lover are dancing and they are dancing into pink clouds, and then they're dancing in pink clouds for 3 minutes and then they turn into the stars.
I think you literally.
You mean the part when they're on DMT?
You literally said that was one of your least favorite parts.
The worst part.
She's just hiding behind a cloud.
She just
Like they know that it's there.
How does she know it's there?
Also, instead of the normal, like, oh, you're a ghost, your hand passes through people.
Yeah.
Like, this one actively punishes you. Like, as soon as Scrooge goes out to touch someone, like, he gets shocked with thousands of volts of electricity and flips over like 6 times.
And he gets stuck on his head for a second, like physics fails.
This movie had no chill. I also, like, past... What was up with her?
Yeah, she was like, I think she was supposed to be a street. Okay, in almost every other adaptation, that Ghost of Christmas Past is like an urchin that he saw somewhere. In this one, she's just like, I like this face, and we never have seen that urchin before or know anything about her. And she's just a pretty cute girl who's clearly an urchin because she talks like she is. Which, speaking of talking like she is, when do we address in this outline terrible accents from people who are not British?
Stand-up performances.
Okay. Great, because that did happen several times.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit more lenience toward the child actors that had to put on a British accent.
You're right.
Completely agree.
Correct.
And there were quite, like, the child accents were really bad. I'm not going to defend them, but I am going to say they're children.
And it's a movie for children.
Yeah.
And we should allow for that.
Yeah.
I do feel like
There's no excuse for the adults, though.
No, they've been here. They get paid for this. I think the kids do, too. Maybe. Do the kids get paid?
Probably. Yes. And yes, they get...
Is Harry Potter free?
Mostly, they had to pay for the miniatures for Hogwarts.
Nice, yeah, that makes sense.
And the train.
Themes.
I'm not at themes yet. We're at cheerlings.
Yes.
We shouldn't be at cheerlings. Those are the worst.
The number of like small cringy things that happen in this. Like the worst song by far is Life, if that's what it's called, or I Like Life.
I don't know. I Love Christmas was really bad.
It was pretty bad, but like at least
it was the first one.
That one kind of like
that was so funny. That
connected with Christmas Present.
It was like High School Musical.
It was.
That song was like High School Musical.
Like,
I Like Life.
Here's what you're
like
prepping for.
When you're 10 years old, you're like, I know how to write a song, and you start writing down things, and you're like, I do not know how to write a song, but I'm
here
gonna
you
write one
are.
anyway.
And then you sell it to Netflix.
This was a hard watch.
This is a hard one. I'm
excited for you to watch some of the like really harrowing films in the top 250 list, so that I could be like.
It's already Schindler's List.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I've already seen Schindler's List.
That's true. There will be different.
Okay, good.
Different
I've heard
kinds of
7
harrowing.
was bad, but like.
I'm thinking when we get to Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, nice! I
Yeah.
want to watch that so I can hear the song.
Just watch that hollow out your soul.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to that. Thanks, appreciate it.
And that will be recompense for this episode.
I'm very excited. Good. Okay. Awesome. What was I gonna get? I don't know, man. Oh yes, I was gonna say I'm really like if you want to go watch A Christmas Carol, don't watch this one.
There is one thing that I was thinking while I watched this, which is if I had no clue about anything about A Christmas Carol, this may not be the absolute worst thing that I've ever seen.
That's a good point.
That is true.
Yeah.
If I did not know the themes, which is, by the way, the next bullet point,
Yes.
that are in A Christmas Carol, the book, and all of the other movies that did it well, I would be like, this is a kid's movie. It's not supposed to be.
Good.
It's not supposed to be sophisticated and have very nuanced thoughts and very strong themes. But if you're gonna adapt something that does have those, don't just drop them in favor of live life in the present. That's how you be a good person. I like life. Life likes me, and we don't remember the rest of the song.
Yeah. I do like going to themes. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll make me happier.
It will not.
No, because every time that they want to drive home any sort of point whatsoever, they make all of the previous scenes flash up around.
Front of Scrooge.
Or they
computer.
flits itself.
So it's not they don't do it in a way where I think, oh yeah, a kid's going to pick up on this where they wouldn't have before. But they treat the adult audience like they're morons.
Yes.
It's like at one point, the Tiny Tim is coughing, dying on the street. And it turns Tiny Tim into Scrooge's sister. And then the Tiny Tim's sister that's holding her brother who's coughing to death into Scrooge. And it just turns them both to be like, by the way.
And then it goes right back.
And then it goes right back to inform you they are the same. Exactly equivalent.
Or my favorite of the things that pop up in the back with they always have the pink pink hue
and the sound of shattering
things.
Glass.
Yeah. My favorite of that was when Tiny Tim was singing the song, and just in the middle of all of it is a hand with coins in it. To just be like, hey,
you could have
Scrooge, you gotta give this kid money. It's okay.
You didn't know. That's what meant for you.
It just the themes were not handled well. And honestly, I understand the themes of A Christmas Carol when it's usually done right. I have no clue what the themes of this movie were supposed to be.
No, that's exactly what I was just about to say. I don't know what I should take away from this movie.
Christmas is good.
Christmas is good. And if you don't like Christmas, check yourself.
Yeah, you might have unresolved
trauma.
Yeah.
If you don't like Christmas.
If you don't like Christmas.
And the way to resolve that trauma
is actually not to think about it and live in the present.
And also to realize how everybody around you is living an identical life to the life you have lived, down to every minute detail.
Being the same.
There
is no difference.
Oh, standout scene. Sorry, we have already moved past this, but the scene where she breaks up with Scrooge is just absolutely hilarious.
It's fantastic. Oh my gosh. She goes and reaches into the coin pot, and then after she's done reaching, Scrooge just slams it and puts it in the safe.
The thing is the way that he does that is not, it's exactly like when I am doing something to annoy Trenton. And I know that it's actually annoying him, and he's like, I'm busy, so I won't even acknowledge that. He just closes it, and he doesn't even you don't touch that. He just...
No, you're a small child, and you were not worth my respect.
Engaging with. Well, I just gotta get this out of the way real quick.
You're gonna damage it.
The thing that was funniest to me about this was not actually that, but immediately after, she's singing this song to him about how he always... we'll spend time with her later.
Yeah.
And later never comes. And the entire time she's singing this song, he's sitting there working on his ledgers. And he doesn't notice through this. And I would be like, okay, it stretches my suspension of disbelief, but whatever. But then they changed the rules when she swipes everything off of his desk and breaks
Blows
the building
entire
apart.
room open.
And he just goes, "What? You were talking to me?" And it's like, oh my gosh.
Wow, I'm surprised by this outburst of emotion. Huh. Are you upset?
After a 2.5 minute song where she is explaining exactly what's wrong.
I'm really confused. Where were the signs?
Where are they?
This sign would bother me if I could read.
This sign can't stop me.
Oh, sorry, no, it's you'd really upset those children if they could read.
Yep.
Yeah, nope, I completely agree. And then he goes and tells present Scrooge goes and tells past Scrooge to stop.
By
To stop
singing.
saying later.
Yes.
Stop saying later. It's never going to be later. Later. And he says later like 4 times.
But what's wild is he's doing this at the scene where she's basically saying, "I'm not going to be engaged to you anymore." So he's already too
He's already
late.
gone.
Like,
Yeah.
not only can no one
He's obviously
hear
not
him,
learned anything so far.
not only can no one hear him, but he is trying to change the future of this past person when it's too late.
Already. Well, okay. Counter argument. She hasn't put the ring on the scale yet. He hasn't picked up the papers and run to talk to Marley. Which, by the way,
Yeah,
Marley's like,
Marley.
"Hey, come here," and he's like, "Okay," and he just runs away with all the papers.
Sorry, my fiance just destroyed the office.
All the
I'll pay
walls
for
are
it.
gone. Also, Scrooge got that kids knocked him over thing from Marley, because when Marley realizes that this man's fiance is about to break up with him, he's like, "I'll leave you to it." like they're gonna have some romantic moment. He's fully aware of what's happening because he watched her take off the engagement ring.
I actually didn't catch that.
It was like so bizarre because he was, but he
Also-
saw her do it.
They didn't need to go and connect the Cratchits with
It was so weird.
Yeah.
with Scrooge.
It was
in this,
some weird backstory, like superhero.
like villain
Like,
kind of
yeah.
thing. Like, and so in this iteration, they
Bob Cratchit
had
is a super villain.
yes, they had Bob Cratchit as a young boy. And Scrooge and Marley have to go and probably take possession of their store or something, but it's Bob Cratchit, and he's a child, and he has a blue and a green eye, and it's all just real spooky.
Because then it like flashes forward to the present, and you're like, "Oh wow,
Oh, wow.
that baby that doesn't remember this at all is the
Is
same
Bob
guy."
Cratchit. Yes, Scrooge is like, "Wow, why did you work for me?" And then they never
They
touch
never
on it
resolve
again.
that.
They never resolve it. Like,
Why does he work for? Like, I think you're supposed to assume it's because he's so compassionate, and he just wants Scrooge to see the right way to go, so he works for him, making pennies. So that it just doesn't make sense.
yeah.
Oh.
Hey guys, this is a good movie.
I don't think this needs to be longer than 30 minutes.
It already is.
Technical things that stand out.
You know what?
The music.
The candle lady, pretty cool.
I don't think so.
No.
She was so creepy.
No.
Until
Her
that
face
part
was
where her
melting
face
off.
was melting off.
And she
And
was
it
a comet.
It looked. She turned into a
God.
mask, like a poorly
Yeah.
formed mask, and I was expecting it to just like.
Smack
Like,
him in the face, and then
smack him
now
in the
it's
face.
now it's horror again.
I thought it was gonna be played for laughs. Like
Yeah.
it was.
Like
Yeah,
for
I
kids,
gotcha.
'cause
Yeah.
they love when people get hit in the face.
Yeah.
It didn't.
I want to see Micaiah's list of things kids like.
I was a
Very
kid-
synonymous to what she likes currently.
Yeah, no. When I was a kid and now, that kind of humor I didn't get it. Like, there's a moment where the dog lands on Scrooge, and after he just stood up, and then farts in his face. And I'm like, my brothers would totally laugh at that.
Yeah.
I never find that sort of thing funny at all, and I didn't when I was younger. Neither would I find a mask going funny, but it just seems like
I
what
still want to see
movies-
the list.
Okay, I'll make a list. We can read it.
Yeah. Like, again, I think we can bring up the fact that there were certain things that were done as far as spectacle goes with the CG that was really impressive.
Absolutely.
I honestly could get past a lot of the issues with the scene where Jacob Marley initially shows up, just because of
How pretty it
cool
was.
Yeah. They did a really good job with that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a lot of the CG was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I do think the music sounded nice as long as you weren't listening to the lyrics.
That's true, actually. It sounds like one of the songs we were just commenting on sounds exactly like Bring Honor to Us All from Mulan. It's the same song. It just has really bad lyrics.
Well, that one, if I remember correctly, also had just way too much instrumentation.
Yeah.
There was too much going on.
And almost all of the there were moments where if they had let the voice just go and they hadn't added more instrumentation, it would have been a lot prettier.
Yeah.
There were times where a person had a really nice solo and then they added instrumentation and also lowered the voice to be about the same as the instrumentation.
Yeah.
And I was like, are we a musical or aren't we? Please let me know. Also, Scrooge was the only one to emote while singing.
Yeah.
He was
She
rocking
was
it.
Goodbye. Our
And-
engagement is over.
Yeah, actually, the only time I think I felt anything as far as what was going on was actually in the scene where Scrooge was singing to his past self, and I'm like, okay, there's actually something here.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that if you think about it for 2 seconds, it breaks down. The fact that there was emotion in the performance was nice to see.
Yeah. I almost felt like it was too much emoting, though. I think I liked
Yeah.
everything else. I think Scrooge emoted too much.
Well, I think had they built up to that emoting would have been great.
Nice. You're
Yeah.
right.
Because it was the turning point in his life. Arguably.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
was the point at which he decided to prioritize all the wrong things.
Mhm.
It should have been a horrifying moment when he was completely not paying attention and lost the love of his life.
Mm-hmm.
It was not that. It was something different.
Okay, so yeah, I don't have anything else to say
I
about
have
this,
no
I
other
don't think.
words.
No, I think, again, if you're going to watch A Christmas Carol, choose a different one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless you have nothing else to watch.
In
And
which
this is
case-
the most convenient.
And in that case, you don't need to watch A Christmas Carol. You can just watch a different Christmas movie.
Almost, so my favorite Christmas Carol iteration is a 2008 musical, and it's quote-unquote free on YouTube. Probably not free, but the kind of free that you can go watch. So
Yeah, there you go.
That is my favorite. It's a good one as well. And what is the next holiday?
Well,
It
actually,
might be New
so
Year's?
we have New Year's and we have Valentine's Day. I wasn't planning on doing any special episodes for those.
We should do Independence Day on Independence Day. Do you not like Independence Day?
I don't like
It's
Independence
such a good
Day.
movie.
It's not.
Oh, it is. We're doing Independence Day on Independence Day.
Okay, that's fine. But then next year we're doing The Patriot because that's an actually good Roland Emmerich film.
That sounds good.
Oh, it's so
Awesome.
sad.
I haven't seen that one.
That being said, before we even get there, we do have some plans coming up for Star Wars,
Yes, you're right.
which will end us at May the 4th.
Yeah.
So we're going to watch the prequels, even though they're not on the list. And we will be starting that when we would be starting Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
So we will be watching all of them from the prequels through the original trilogy. And the last one should be coming out very close to May the 4th.
Pretty cool.
So
So,
exciting.
yeah.
When are we watching the sequels?
I'll have to get back to you on that.
Good. That sounds
They're
good.
fun.
This is a whole other episode that we would have to have.
Yep.
So we have already talked about what our next film is in the order. So
Yeah, I've got a question.
Yeah. So how do we end this?
Thanks, everybody.